That's why our time is running out. That's why we have to move now, before they find what we're looking for first. This place, this spaceship they called it, cost €1 billion to build. That's 2.75 billion euro now. It was meant to last longer than the pyramids. At its opening, Federal President Walter Scheel declared it would outlast even the Great Pyramids of Giza. Instead, it sits, a $1 billion corpse, hollow and abandoned. Why? The high-tech, forward-thinking Germans waited a couple decades after the rest of the world to ban asbestos. It's 1979. Who could possibly know asbestos is going to be a problem? Only half a dozen other countries. But that's not why we're here. We've got a prize to collect and limited amount of time before we get a security response. They say this was the heartbeat of West Berlin, back when the city was torn in two. Here, they hosted massive conferences, concerts, grand performances. Now, it just echoes. But there's something here, something that was locked away when the doors shut for good, and we're going to find it. Careful. There's not supposed to be anyone here, but you know there's still very sophisticated security.
Yeah, I know. We need to move. Just look at this.
The building was used as accommodation for refugees. Leftover refugee? You think it's an apparition? Didn't know you were the suspicious type, Nico.
I would put money on animal before ghost.
You're right. Could be a threat.
Okay, let's check it out.
Look at this. This room alone could fit thousands. Imagine the voices, the energy, the life that was here. Now it just feels wrong. This place is massive. An empty giant built for thousands yet left to decay. Once a centerpiece of West Berlin, now just a hollow shell filled with echoes of the past. It's one of the largest abandoned structures in Europe, a monument to Cold War ambition. Back in 1979, they unveiled this beast of a building, a futuristic spectacle meant to make a statement, a direct challenge to the Soviet-controlled East Berlin. They called it the ICC, towering, brutal, unyielding, a stark mass of steel and concrete that loomed over the city like a fortress. It became an icon, dark, industrial, steeped in history. When it closed in 2014, its fate became uncertain. The city dangles it in front of investors, hoping someone will reclaim it. But there's more to this place than they realize. The ICC wasn't just a convention center. It was a declaration of power, a way for West Berlin to prove its independence from the Soviet shadow. It had to be the biggest, the most advanced, a bold showcase of capitalism in progress. Its architects pushed for an ultra-modern vision, sharp angles, steel veins, a cold machine pulsing with ambition. It was a promise of the future, built in defiance of the past. And it is enormous. You could lay the Eiffel Tower down inside and it would barely fit. A fortress within a fortress, reinforced concrete at its core, shielded by an exterior shell to block sound and vibrations. Step inside, and it's like stepping into another era. The design is pure 1970s futurism, untouched by time. The boulevard, the central artery of the building, stretches out ahead, staircases and escalators branching like pathways in some great machine. Above, The lighting system glows red on one side, blue on the other. Veins carrying lifeblood through this mechanical behemoth. And then, the brain. The massive sculpture suspended above the central hall. An eerie mass of neon-lit strands that seem to pulse outward like nerve fibers. It feels alive in its own way. Alien. Like something from a sci-fi film. We need to remember all this. Because once we find what we came for, we won't have long. And you will more clearly understand the significance. Hall 6, designed with Star Trek in mind, earned the building its nickname, the spaceship. But the real marvel is the main hall, a vast auditorium capable of holding 5,000 people, the first of its scale in Germany. But here's the real secret. The halls don't rest on the ground. They float, suspended from the steel trusses above, detached from the rest of the structure. This design isolates them from outside noise, creating flawless acoustics. The weight of thousands, the pulse of movement, the tremor of music, absorbed into the very bones of the building. No pillars, no barriers, just raw open space. If the lights are a vascular system, then you might think of this as the digestive, absorbing its occupants. This place has a legacy, one that refuses to fade. When it first opened, people came from all over the world to see it. Over the years, whispers of its demolition surfaced, but nothing came of it. Now, the city is desperate to revive it. They're offering it to anyone willing to take on the challenge. Investors, architects, visionaries, they're all circling. The deal? A 99-year lease, rent-free, as long as they restore and repurpose it. That's why our time is running out. That's why we have to move now, before they find what we're looking for first. There it is again. Is the building alive?
I think we should go.
No, we need to check.
It's gone! It's gone! We're wasting time!
You're right. We need to find the room. This isn't right. Everything else is so well maintained. What happened here? Why is it all smashed up? Who's been here? This is it. This is the room.
What the hell is that? Is this what we came for?
A strong overhead light suddenly illuminates the room. The reveal is abrupt. A mechanical figure, its joints exposed. Its face, fleshy and human-like but not. The eyes are open, piercing and angry. The body covered in dust and dried stains. A tag dangles from its chest. The writing faded. Prototype A01, Human Simulation Trial. 1983.